Hello, I just wanted to take a second to talk to you about the BYU indexing application and a few questions that you might have about how to do it. First of all, why are we doing indexing? Turns out that there's a lot of historical handwritten documents, and that handwritten information is really unusable until we figure out what it actually says. So what we'd like you to help with is we have a computer transcription process that comes up with its best guess as to what the handwriting says. What we would like you to do is just mark the ones that look correct. So this can not only be used to help us gain information about our families and family history, but it can be used to help us understand which social distancing methods work best in dealing with COVID. And so all kinds of questions that we can actually answer if we have the transcriptions to handwriting. So service indexing is just an opportunity for you to go ahead and index these documents, which will provide family history information as well as information for researchers to understand better demographics and censuses or what caused people to die. So those are all great things that occur as you become involved in service indexing. All kinds of people benefit from it, the world community, social science researchers, and those who want to do family history. So let's just talk about what projects we're currently working on. And so I'm just going to share my screen here. And so if you take a look at the screen to start with, you'll notice there's an instructions page here that tells you what to do. And you can also look at your statistics, which shows how many records you've indexed. If you are using a shared computer, then you might want to write this down so you can keep track, because it may not keep track the next time you come back here. There's also this notion of allowing you to either search for your surname or a disease like influenza, and it will go ahead and find something associated with that. And you can pick here in random data either a surname or a cause of death. Those are the two projects we're working on now. By the way, this cause of death, we're really trying to look at the 1918 death records to figure out which communities had the most deaths from the influenza epidemic in 1918, so that we can help us to deal with the COVID-19 epidemic that we're currently dealing with this year. So let's just take a look at this, what we would like you to do. So here you go. I can pick, let's say I do cause of death here. And here it says, it thought it said Piliga. Okay, so all you're gonna do is look through these and see which of these you think says Piliga. Now in this case, it looks like a lot of these have either an R or an I right after it, okay? And so I might look at all of these and say, none of them have that exact word with just an A there. And so what I would do then is I would click on all of these and say they're all incorrect. It may seem silly, but we want it to be exactly right, or we're going to say they're incorrect so that our computer algorithm can learn how to generate the correct transcriptions, okay? After that, you can say submit and go on to the next one. Let's say I wanted to look at a surname. Here I go with McPherson. And so I could look through these and it looks like they're actually doing pretty good. And McPherson, that looks pretty good. I could look at all of these and maybe I think they are all correct. And so I could just say submit. Now, you don't have to worry about being totally accurate. And if something is strange, like it has a line through it, but it looks like the transcription was correct, please count it as correct. If you just see a line or a whole page that are just lines, just mark them all as wrong. If it doesn't match what's up here in that transcription, just mark it with an X and move on. And that will really help our deep learning computer algorithm to learn how to read handwriting. Okay, so under the cause of death, there may be images that have a variation of it. It may say, instead of influenza, it may say influenza-pneumonia. And again, what we're trying to do here is find the exact right transcription. So if it said Applebee-pneumonia, you would mark all of these wrong. And by the way, you'll notice here that there's a little line after that. Don't worry about that, okay? If it has a slight line, but just make sure that all of the letters are correct, okay? If the word up here was senility, and you're seeing these words have denility, then mark them all wrong. Again, if they're anything different from what you actually see. Some people have put in under this surname, they put in their own surname, like Fredericks. And you may find some, which is kind of fun, or you may find none of them. If you don't find any of them, it means that all of your surname has already been indexed, so don't worry about it. Let's see, just to give you an idea of what's on the horizon, we're, in addition to doing this, we're actually going to be looking at doing some other records from Eastern Europe and trying to understand how to read a full death record, where it would be text that described the person's death. So we'll need help on figuring out who is the actual person in here, and basically trying to associate entities with names, like who was the person who actually died, what was the city he died in. So that'll be coming up next. And we really appreciate all of your help on this, because it really does make a difference. And it will allow us to provide information for family history and a number of other sources. So thank you for being involved in service indexing. And we hope that this gives you an opportunity to improve your ability to read handwriting and to read in general. Thank you.